afternoon, boys and girls. My name is Sharon, and I'm training you today in handling difficult customers. At some point in our life, we would have had the experience of facing a difficult customer who is arrogant, aggressive, abusive, to the point of ridiculous and explosive. And when they are explosive, it's always the now or never. I want to see your manager now. I want the refund now. I want money back. I want a new product exchange. You know, they become ridiculous. All right? So much about this difficult customer. Okay, before I start the class proper, I have 3 objectives for you so that you can have it as takeaways after the training. 1, it is to understand the behavior of angry customers. 2, the techniques, the methods to handle irate, difficult and demanding customers. And 3, the do's and don'ts when you're faced with such a situation or a customer. Now, what exactly is the definition of the customer? This slide, I think some of you would have read this before. So we will take this customer pledge together since we are in this together in handling difficult customers. So as I read, you don't read, but when I stop, you continue. All right? So we'll start with, there are no. No, you will read no problems. There are. No, you don't have to repeat after me. What I read, you don't read. What I don't read, you continue. All right? So there are
no problems.
Only
Solutions.
a customer is the
Most important visitors.
he is not,
Dependent on us.
but we are.
Dependent on him.
He is not an, but he is the purpose of it. Right? He is not an,
outsider of our business,
but he is a.
part of it.
Exactly. Don't have to repeat after me. You just continue the next word. We are not,
We will be your favor by serving him.
but he is. Okay. Oh, Mohan, I think we are having a miscommunication there. So what I read, you don't repeat after me. Yes, don't worry, it's a learning curve, so we all learn together. So last line we'll do together. He is.
Doing us favor by giving us the opportunity to do it.
Alright, so having understood the definition of customer and bathed in our head, if we get this right, we will have a Mr. Happy customer. But we got to be careful with our service.
He's so happy.
Yes, the smile. Mohan, how do you smile? You don't smile with your mouth curved downwards, right? Oh, okay. Then we will retaught it the next round. I think it's the pull of the picture. Alright, we just got to be careful also that if we are not good with our service, we can eventually lose our customer in our midst to our competitor. Now, what's the difference between a complaining and a difficult customer? A complaining customer is usually somebody whose needs are not met. They are just basically dissatisfied. And they just verbal diarrhea, they just want to pour out everything from their lungs, their chest, everything out of their system. While a difficult customer is somebody who is very challenging because they are either rude, aggressive, or they are unreasonable. And to the point, they spin the whole situation, making you spin as well. And they can be very intimidating or threatening at the end of the day. Now, what's the expectations usually of an angry customer? Our angry customer, from the word I derived the word heard, which is H-E-A-R-D, starting with hear me out. They always want to listen to me. Or they're very egoistic. They were like, I'm telling you. Or they're very attention seeking. When there's nobody, they will say, you know, I was not happy. But when they see a crowd, they go like, you know, I'm not happy. They become the extreme. Or they can become very rebellious. Like when you try to explain to them, they'll say, no, you know. Or they can eventually be demanding. I want it now. I want a solution now. I want to see your manager now. All right? Now, is the customer's behavior within our control? Yes or no?
No.
Exactly. We can't control your background, your culture, your upbringing, right? So it's not within. But it's our reaction and our response to the customer's behavior within our control?
Yes.
Exactly. And how we control the situation will bring about a rainbow. If we get the situation under checks and handle it well, both parties will be satisfied and happy together. Now, there are different forms of anger expressions when we are faced with very difficult customers. Generally, even from the word list, I'm telling you, comes in many forms. Like this, they put their hand and say, I'm telling you. Or it can be, I'm telling you. Or they can even come, I'm telling you. So it's different forms. Or they can say, I'm telling you. Or eventually they'll grind their teeth and say, I'm telling you. So we would have faced all these kind of different expressions. Even Mohan and Jackson, there's something interesting you want to share with us? It sounds very interesting. I'm sure the class, would you be interested to know?
Yes.
See, one. Okay, then we'll have it after 5:31. Okay? Alright, so now, okay? Complaining personalities. Basically, there are 4 types of personalities for a complaining customer. One is an offloader. They just want to load everything off their chest. The other one is legitimate grievance. It's reasonable. Maybe you serve the coffee late or tea late. The abusive one is the one who uses the 4-letter word, but you don't have to say it. It's 4-letter word, not LOVE, but is asterisk, exclamation mark, and you know what word. And the threatening one who will intimidate you and tell you, I'm going to go into social media. Right? So these are the 4 personalities. Now sharing time. Do you have a point in your life where you are faced with a difficult customer? Anyone? Jackson?
Oh, Sharon, I do have. There was once that I spoke to a customer, and the customer scolded me because they were having a bad day.
So what do you do to make them happy after that?
Well, there's no choice. I'm in sales. I can just smile and say, maybe you can have a seat and have a cup of tea and coffee or tea.
So, did they choose you in the end? No.
Oh, well, it's okay, but at least I managed the situation well.
Okay. See, the difference is, what did he say? We sat him down, we have a cup of coffee. So the whole idea is when in a difficult situation, you must calm the situation and remain patient. Alright? I had a situation way back in my hotel industry before, where we had the guest CEO of a very known company who stayed with us we moved them from a concept hotel. But when he came the first 2 times, he was a perfect customer. But the 3rd time with the family, he became very arrogant. He checked and he didn't like the room. It's too small. My wife has claustrophobia, lack of space, the fear of no space. So we told him to pay a little more for a bigger room, which he refused to. And then, so the situation stayed put. The next day, he came to us and he started complaining. Oh, your maid didn't clean the room well. She left a strand of hair in the bathtub. My wife couldn't sleep, insomnia yesterday because the aircon is bad. And my child was crying because of the noise next door. He starts coming with a lot of things. So what we did was we compromised. We said, okay, when a family or you come on personal visit, we will upgrade you. Otherwise, when it's company stay, you pay a minimum. And it became game commitment. He was happy and so were we. Alright? Now, Apple, as in Apple computer, they have 3 approaches to settling difficult customers. You acknowledge them, you align with them, and you also assure them. How you acknowledge, for instance, in your tone of voice, you can tell, Mr. Smith, I can certainly understand how frustrating this can be. Or you can say, Mr. Smith, I know this can seem very confusing. You are agreeing and acknowledging it. Align, I came up with the word year, listening. Year because you have empathized them. You have to apologize, say sorry if it's necessary. You have to repeat after them the situation, what happened, to be sure. Live up to the expectation, follow up. Integrate with the conversation with them, connect. And you have to follow up with a good solution. And most importantly, you've got to be earnest, be sincere. What about assure? Can you come up with some positive words you will use with difficult customers? Anyone? A positive word. Example, like definitely. What else? Nandini?
Certainly.
You like?
My pleasure.
You marry?
Yeah.
Unpleasant.
What about Shafi?
By all means.
By all means, unless, by all means may not be quite there. Something else? Because by all means sounds like I hope I could, I'll get it settled, but you cannot assure before you know it. Any other words? Okay, we will go through. These are the 25 powerful words that you can use. You can use these 25 powerful words for any difficult situation. I'll give you one example, like absolutely. You will say, Mr. Smith, I'm absolutely with you and I share your concern. So you give them the impression that I'm with you. Like it or not, at that point of time, you just have to agree with them and then calm them, put them into your position. So now for all these 25 words, perhaps we'll go around the table, like Yolan, you may want to pick up one word and form a positive statement for a difficult customer.
Okay, let me just try.
You want to come nearer?
Yes, well here. Okay, so I would say,
How about using definitely?
okay, I would definitely see to it that you will, okay, I certainly will help you, ma'am. Okay, you will see your food there at 3:30. Right?
Okay, so that's a reassurance, certainly. Jackson, choose any words from here and form a positive statement.
Definitely it's our fault, man. Do sit down and let me look into it right away.
Okay, we got to be very careful. We cannot straight away say that definitely is our fault. So because it puts us in a bad spot. So the way to go then would be, I would definitely look into this. Your concern and I share, and I would definitely look into this concern and come back to you within an hour's time. Just an example. And Mohan, one word.
I think I would say, well, your suggestion seems interesting, and we will try to look into it and see how we can actually accommodate.
Okay, yeah. Then you see, you're making him like feeling like, okay, acknowledged. All right? Okay, so basically these are the do's and the don'ts. The do's are, okay, you got to listen to this because we have a role play after this. You'll be the lucky winner. So do's, like you got to listen to them. You got to be very calm in all pressure. You cannot interrupt them as and when. You must say sorry when necessary. Don't over apologize. Your verbiage is very important. How you use your words is going to matter a lot. Your eye contact to show that you are interested, I'm with you, also very important. A positive gesture, you got to go forward, not kind of lean back. And then you got to be very patient and calm in your tone. You got to, sorry. Okay, you got to gain agreement if you have a solution. You know, both sides got to agree. And you got to follow up and reassure him that it's under control. The situation is being checked. Don't be judgmental and say another complaint, you know? And don't be distracted just because someone is tapping you on the shoulder and you get distracted. Don't interrupt unnecessarily or over apologize. Don't assume that this is what he's going to complain or over commit. And don't procrastinate. 1 hour means 1 hour. There's no 1 hour, 5 minutes to get back. And then your negative body language is very important. It's like, yeah, That's negative. And don't defend and say, oh, sorry, I was not in that shift. Straight away is defense. And don't say, I cannot. Without checking, without coming back, straight away say cannot. Then it becomes a negative gesture. Just say, I'll come back to you upon checking with my superior. All right? Now, so basically, how do you deal with difficult customers in the gist? The key words will be listen, last. L-A-S-T, you must make a lasting impression. How? You have to listen, you have to apologize necessarily, you have to come up with a solution, and eventually you have to appreciate and thank them so that they feel that they are being appreciated. Alright, so it takes many months and years to gain a customer, but always remember, it's only 2 seconds, 1 click and they are gone to your concept. So you've got to be very, very careful when dealing with difficult customers. Alright, drum roll. Sorry. Just give me a second. How do I go back? Okay, we will have a role play now. So can we have volunteer this couple? We need a couple. Okay, we will have Mohan. I see your hand, Mohan. And we will have Jumari. Oh no, okay, Jumari is We will have Edmund. Yeah.
Edmund is
Oh, who else?
He like use this table.
Okay, May. We have May and Mohan. Mohan will play the difficult customer going to a CPF board. And he's borrowed so much from Loan Shark. He has to return them urgently, and he's 55 years old. So he needs to withdraw them urgently. But he has waited 1.5 hours for the customer agent May to come to him. So Mohan will play the very difficult customer, and May will play the agent who will adopt some of this in the solving process.
So she's the receptionist or?
She's the customer agent who came out after 1.5 hours to attend to you. So which behavior should we let him play? The abusive, the threatening, the offloader, or the legitimate? Which one would you all want to see?
Increasing scale of difficulty.
Which behavior?
Abusive.
Shafi, which behavior? What? Yolan, which behavior would you want to see?
I think he's abusive.
Okay. So Mohan, over to you, the floor. You play the abusive customer, and May, you will be the customer agent. After 1.5 hours, you came up to deal with him. No, okay, he's waiting for you. So now it's 1.5 hours, you have to go out and handle him. And he's the abusive, remember, abusive customer. How are you going to stand?
Madam, you know my number is 321, no? Now it's 536 already, you know. I've been waiting so long, you took so long to come. See the number 321. And then come on, I'm already, you know, 65 years old, I'm waiting to talk. My CPF money, you know, so long, you know. My money is inside the CPF, you know.
Let me see your number.
Yeah, it's 321, you see 321.
Okay.
Now it's 536 already.
So
So
your
long,
number
you
is
go
running.
inside, just now you say hello to me, you go inside, and now you never come.
Oh, okay. Maybe you take a seat first.
Take it where? You got no chair also. Okay, I see.
There's a chair.
Okay. 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 Can I come in? What is it, Florence?
My money all in the CPF, eh? Oh, then the loan shark coming, pulling me every time want to carry my car bag. All my car, all of the things. And then my money I worked so many years, I put my money in the CPF. And then you all take the money, you don't give me. I go medicine, hospital also no money to pay.
Sorry. The CPS, you know, is under regulation.
No man, CPF, see, whatever it is, 55 years old can take out already now, already so long. Wait. Every day you're changing the law.
So
You're
let
telling me
me have an IC, let me check for you.
What do you check your IC? You got all my details, that's why you already
Wait,
take
I need your IC to key in and follow the
That means what did you do for the 1.5 hours? You took my number, just now you come and want to check my
I'm
IC
so sorry,
again.
because we
Why are you laughing at?
It's too tough.
Get it down there.
So when you're in a situation like that, what happens? Did May listen? Did May listen? Yes? Was she calm?
Yes.
Was she interruptive? But she couldn't quite handle, right?
Yeah.
Because he was abusive, he went on and on and on. So she can't even get a chance to apologize because he kept going on and on. So in a situation like that, then May, what you should do then is be calm, and then also we cannot over smile, because then he will say that we don't take it too seriously. So the way to go would then to calm him down, greet him like, Mr. Mohan, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Can I spend some time and listen to your concerns? Then instead of, that means you got to take the driver's seat rather than to let him go with his verbal, the verbal diarrhea so-called. Then you've got to apologize to say first most, to say that I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Obviously, yes, this is our oversight, and I'm here to make sure that the matter is definitely resolved. So you've got to give him the assurance and the positive language of going forward, eye contact with him, to listen, to take control of the situation.
to say that.
So, yeah, so that's why difficult customers are always never easy. They catch you by that moment. So
I
it's
ask
your
him to sit
instinct.
down.
Yeah. Yeah, first when you ask him to sit down, you must always remember there must be an empty chair available. Right? When you say have a drink, you have to get him the drink. Otherwise you'll be looking for the water dispenser. Then he gets more angry with you. And then also you need to follow up. You have to hear him out first, and when you hear him out, you have to repeat after him to say, okay, now I get you, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Yes, we definitely, it's an oversight on our end. We shouldn't have kept you waiting because our motto was really to keep you only within that 15 minutes span of time. And you know, after hearing, then you should provide a solution. And whatever, you've got to make sure that you get back to him. You've got to make sure that whatever his concern is, you must handle it one by one. Yes? For instance, when he was shouting just now, he said, you all always got my details, you got whatever. Then how should you handle? Because once you have no answer for him, that's where his abuse became a chain reaction. It goes more and more and more because he knows that he has control over you. So as the person listening in, we always got to be there, be calm, repeat after him, explain to him, take charge of the situation, rather than have him going verbal non-stop. All right? So listening is one. We need to listen to Mohan. We share his concern because he looks like he's urgently needing money, and that is very serious. When a person who needs money, they're just desperate, and we need to be calm so that he feels to calm him down. We need to be uninterrupted. The more you interrupt him before he finishes the conversation, that's where he gets very upset. And we need to apologize, which is what you did, to say that we're sorry to keep you waiting. We need to be empathetic and say, I can understand how you feel, because if I had been in your position, I think I would have been worse. So we give him the reassurance that you are not alone. You know, I probably will be worse than you in this situation. And then give him the eye contact to show that you're concerned about his situation. And be patient with him, and gain agreement towards the end. If you come up with a solution to say, okay, this is okay, you will be able to withdraw by this, by then, or bring him to the machine to help him out, and then go through the system with him to make sure that he understands the whole process. Rather than let him go home and then start all over, then he's going to get more agitated. And then eventually we got to provide that solution as I mentioned, and follow up with him, give a call back to say, Mr. Mohan, as I met you yesterday, is everything okay? You get the process right, you went online, was everything good for you? And eventually to reassure him that if there's anything else that you're not sure, list it down, I will give you a call back in 2 days' time, a reassurance. Okay? Rather than judgmental, to come up and assume that, oh, he needs money, he's just being ridiculous. And don't be distracted by him, because then you will keep smiling, because he has full control over you. Then usually when we smile, we're giving the body language to say that, sorry, I'm out of control now. I can't handle you. That's why I can only be smiling at you. Don't over apologize as well. Don't keep saying sorry for every statement or word. And don't overcommit. And don't procrastinate. You promise somebody who's financially in dire need, you must get back within the time frame. It's very, very important. And never be defensive to say, oh, because it's very crowded today, it's a Saturday, so that's why you have to wait 1.5 hours. Other times you probably will have to wait for 15 minutes. And most importantly, don't say cannot to anything that he's asking you to help. All right, is that clear? Any questions? I think most important is don't always come up with his fault, her fault, their fault, not my fault, whoever's fault. Don't put this blaming thing on. Just face the problem and answer it. No questions? Okay. So remember again, it has to be a lasting impression with a difficult customer, and the last thing will be listen, apologize, solve, and thank. Okay, so what is the learning outcome that you have derived from this training? Yolan?
How to handle abusive customers.
Okay, that's one. Shafi,
Customer service.
customer service,
Service
the
as
approach. Yes, Jumari,
How to handle difficult customers.
how to handle difficult customer. Yes. And the final takeaway that I want you to walk out of this class is this quote that I get from Bill Gates, Microsoft. It is a quote that says, your most unhappy customers will always be your greatest source of learning. And that is so true. Because if life has always been a breeze, we will never learn, we will never pick up anything along the way. So the journey is, you need to have some bumpy rides along the journey in your customer service so that you can start to pick up. As you go, you handle, you will learn along the way, and you will pick up along the way. Remember, one comes out tougher when you are faced with a tough situation. And when life gets too easy and it becomes a breeze, there's never a learning curve. Yes? Any other questions you have? Okay, so to recap, did you learn to understand the behavior of angry customers? Did we go through that? Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, we did, huh? So, did we also hear the different methods, the techniques to handle irritable, difficult, and demanding customers?
Yes.
We did?
Yes.
It looks like Jackson is only in class. What about the rest? Do we?
Yes, Sharon. Yes.
Good, thank you. Okay, and eventually, okay. The last one. Another three.
Number 3.
And eventually, did we hear the do's and the don'ts when handling difficult customers? Yes?
Yes.
We did?
Yes.
Okay. So that's it for today. Any other questions? Yolan, Jumari, Shafi,
No.
Jackson, Mohan, May? Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
Sharon.
tell me.
Just now, that kind of situation, will we really be able to handle and solve? Will we? Because
of
he's
course,
so
why not?
abusive.
Yes. You see, usually a man, when they reach that age, all they want is attention. They want that little love. They just want that attention, you know. All you have to say is, Mr. Mohan, I can understand where you're coming from. And if I had been in your position, I would probably be worse than you are. Thank you so much for being so calm. You see, it's a reverse psychology. He knows that he's wrong, but yet you're saying words like, thank you for being calm with us despite the situation that you went through. Because if it had been me, it would be even worse. So first, you already make him feel like, oh, I'm not so bad after all. Then it makes him feel good, that good feeling. So remember, a man at 55 years old, wanting money, and the day has come for him to withdraw all his hard-earned cash, which the government has been keeping for him, without his permission, so-called. It's like a choice, no choice. So, that, and worse, he's not in control. He has basically no money. The loan sharks are after him. So you can imagine when he goes home, the pain may be over on the wall, the door, on the dog, you don't know. So that's why you must wear his shoes, and then once you wear his shoes, it becomes easier to handle. But if you keep just waiting for him to throw out to verbalize all his anger and everything else, then he will be in control. Alright? That answers you? Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you.